What's going on, everyone? So tomorrow is the biggest game of the season. If the Lakers win that game, they are the A seed. They finally control their destiny once again. They right now are sitting in the A seed, and if they finish, that's it. Pelicans are going to play this game like it's game 7. You're on the road and you haven't been a very good road team this year, but hey, if Lakers are really a contending team, if Lakers really truly believe, and, us that are optimistic and us that are positive and do believe in this team, as I have, then we're going to find out. We're going to find out what they're made of. You win 2 games, you're in the playoffs, right? You got to win this game against the Pelicans. Now you're the A seed. You win 1 more game, beautiful, right? You're in the playoffs. And then whatever the order is, I know a lot of people have concerns about Denver, right? Because depending on Denver finishes the 2 seed, then the Lakers finish 7th. Well, then now they play Denver. I don't care. If we have to play Denver, you're going to have to play Denver eventually regardless, right? So if it's the first round, it's the first round. I would rather play Denver in the first round than sit at home watching somebody else. Give me Denver. If we have to play Denver, then give me Denver. I want the smoke, right? Perfect scenario, we play like the Thunder, right? And we're at least going to the second round because I just don't see the Thunder beating us in a 7-game series. I'm not saying that we should underestimate them, but I just think the Lakers, it's a good matchup for them. Minnesota, I think the Lakers beat Minnesota in a 7-game series, although I think that one would be a lot tougher. Denver, obviously, perfect world. You want to avoid them as much as possible. However, they decided to fumble the bag against the San Antonio Spurs. And thus, here we are. But what is the best case scenario for the Lakers in the play-in, right? It's what I want to talk about. It's what I want to explore. Also, let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Who do you want to play in the play-in? So let's go under the assumption that the Lakers get the 8th seed. Because if they lose, then they fall to 10th. And, I mean, technically, if Sacramento and the Warriors lose again, but they're playing Utah and they're playing the Portland Trailblazers. I don't see both of them losing that game. I just don't. Now, that would be great, but I just don't see it. So, worst case is we fall to 10th, and now we play 2 road play-in games against very likely the Warriors or the Kings, and then you're going to follow that up against likely the Warriors or the Kings. It's a mess. You don't want that, right? You want the A seed. So, if the Lakers get into the A seed, there is a couple possible combinations. Now, Dallas at 6 or the 4 or 5 seed locked up between the Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks. So 6 seed boils down to the Pelicans and the Suns. The Lakers do not have a chance to get the 6 seed. So if the Lakers beat the Pelicans and the Phoenix Suns win against the Minnesota Timberwolves, which Minnesota has to play. Minnesota, they need that because if they win this game, I believe they're the 1 seed if the Thunder lose, right? So there's a lot of implications, especially at the top. Those top 3 teams tomorrow all of them are trying to win. And then I believe if all 3 win, then it's the Thunder and then Denver and then Minnesota. If Minnesota loses, then it's like Denver. So again, that gets convoluted. But let's stay focused on the Lakers, right? So if Minnesota beats Phoenix and we beat the Pelicans, right? Well, then the Pelicans go to the 6th seed. Lakers take on Phoenix. Problem is that all the games are at 12:30. Because if they weren't, like let's say Lakers were at 7, it's very possible the Pelicans just sit everybody if the Suns lose because they have nothing to play for at that point. They're locked in the 6th seed whether they win or lose, right? So it's literally going to come down to the final game of the season. Lakers win, they're in. And if Phoenix wins, then they play the Pelicans again. Here's the question, though. Can the Lakers beat the Pelicans twice on the road? So essentially, you're talking about imagine a first-round matchup where the Pelicans have the first 2 home games. Lakers would have to win both of those. Can they? Yes. Will they? We're going to find out. We're right around the corner. But in my opinion, the Pelicans would be my favored matchup. I'd love to play the Pelicans in that first play-in game because I just think that we match up well against the Pelicans. We have seen that in big games, big moments in the past few seasons, we've handled business. We've seemed to just kind of have the Pelicans number year in and year out. Anthony Davis usually shows up because it's his old team. They have bodies to throw at LeBron, but they don't really have anybody that can stop LeBron. So he kind of just runs through everybody. Our guards match up well against their guards. It's a good matchup for the Lakers, right? Obviously, they have Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, CJ McCollum. They're shooting the absolute lights out right now. These last few games, they've been just en fuego. But I trust the Lakers. If I had to pick anybody for them to beat twice on the road, it would be the Pelicans. I mean, as far as the teams in the standings, right, that we're chasing. Now, the other alternative is the Lakers win, right, and then the Phoenix Suns lose, so the Pelicans get the 6th seed, and then we play the Phoenix Suns in that first play-in game on the road in Phoenix. Now, we have beaten Phoenix 3 times. I am confident that we can beat Phoenix again. However, Phoenix they do have the offensive firepower to beat you one game, right? Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal are 3 guys that can light it up. Grayson Allen is leading the league in 3-point percentage, right? Phoenix can score. And so in a 1 game, if we played them in a 7-game series, I actually think the Lakers beat them. I actually like it in a 7-game series. I think the Lakers can win 4 out of 7 games against Phoenix. But in a 1 game where anything could happen and Kevin Durant just goes off for 40 or Devin Booker drops 70 or it's just some crazy, guys are just shooting the lights out, it's the problem, right? I mean, you could say the same thing again with the Pelicans. Pelicans have been shooting about as good as anybody in the league these last 2 games. I mean, they have been just lights out the last 2 games against the Warriors and the Kings. But I do think that the Lakers kind of offset that enough. Phoenix, look, I've talked heavily. I don't really trust Phoenix this year. I don't see Phoenix winning anything this year. I would love Phoenix to me, Denver gets 3rd, Lakers get 7th, and then the Pelicans and whoever wins between the Kings and the Warriors get 8th, and then Thunder are the 2 seed. Now, we would play the winner of that 3 versus 6 matchup in the second round. But I actually think Phoenix has the firepower and have done well against, Nurk has done well. They've done a good job against the Denver Nuggets. So I think if any team was going to potentially beat Denver in the playoffs outside of us, it would be the Phoenix Suns. So I really want Minnesota to fumble the bag here. And then Phoenix into that 6 seed. Denver drops to that 3 seed. And now you got a Suns-Nuggets first-round matchup. That not only would that be great as a basketball fan, I'd love to see that 7-game series. But I think that one worst-case scenario, I think that goes the distance. That goes 7 games. And, hopefully Denver's worn down. And then if we play the Thunder, I think we could beat the Thunder in 5. I don't think we sweep the Thunder. Thunder are good enough to where they could light it up. But I see the Thunder series going a lot like the Grizzlies series. Young team that was really good in the regular season that doesn't really have the experience, that kind of is in over their head against LeBron and Anthony Davis, and the Lakers match up really well. It's kind of how, Thunder have the Memphis Grizzlies written all over them for last year. So, to me, you play them, I think the Lakers beat them in 5 or 6, right? Hopefully. And then you get a little extra rest before that Denver matchup. So even if Denver does go through the Phoenix Suns, hopefully with the turnaround, you can step in and kind of play a beat-up Denver team and get a couple things fall your way. All of a sudden, you're in the conference finals, and you're playing Minnesota or the Clippers or something like that. I like that. I think Lakers go to the finals. And then whoever you see in the finals, Boston would be a little tough. But anybody outside of Boston, I think the Lakers run through in the East. Milwaukee, I think the Lakers run through. Philly, Miami, I think the Lakers run through those teams. Right? Knicks, whoever. I do. Boston would be tough, though. They just have so much firepower and just their starting 5 is ridiculous. But, again, I like the matchup. So, ideally, Pelicans play-in game, right? So we need the Suns to beat the Wolves. And then, boom, we beat the Pelicans 2 straight games. And we get to we did it against Minnesota, right? Saw that against Minnesota where, we had to win 2 straight games against Minnesota last year. Beat them for the last game of the season, and then we played them and beat them in the NCAA tournament, got the 7th seed, played the Memphis Grizzlies. So got to do that again. But those are the scenarios. Lakers losing the first, let's say Denver gets the 2 seed. I know people are going to be like, Lakers should lose that no, you don't. The basketball gods rewarded you with an opportunity here. Basketball gods can also punish you for messing around. You purposely lose the play-in game, and now you play, now instead of winning that game and playing Denver, you're like, let's avoid Denver, and you lose the game on purpose. And then now you go play a Sacramento or you play a Nugget or a Warriors team that both those teams can shoot the lights out. Sacramento you haven't beaten once, and now you're going home because you wanted to mess around and avoid the night. No, you just don't play games. You go in, you do your job, you do what you're supposed to do, and let's go pull this out. 2 wins, 2 straight wins, and then we're in the playoffs, and then whoever we play is who we play. But obviously there's ideal scenarios here, but we'll see. Time will tell. It's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Who do you want to see the Lakers play in the play-in? Again, assuming that they win and beat the Pelicans, you got to beat the Pelicans first. Would you rather a rematch against the Pelicans again? Do you think that they could beat them twice on the road? Because that's what the Lakers would have to do. Or would you rather the Phoenix Suns drop and it's like, you're not playing the Pelicans twice on the road. Yes, you're playing 2 road games, but it's against a different team, different look. So you're ready, right? That kind of thing. Would you rather that to where now you're beating Phoenix and maybe even potentially taking them out of the playoffs entirely, right? If they have to play Sacramento again, which we just saw how crazy that game was. But again, I feel whatever your thoughts are. I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. It's when you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.